Sports for Real with Coach Hall. The Michael Irvin vs. Marriott case took a new twist yesterday. Irvin held a press conference to express his frustrations with the progression of the case. As it turns out, Marriott, as we know from last time we talked, they were court ordered to give up those tapes to Irvin's attorneys. Well, when Irvin's attorneys showed up to get the tape, he was not allowed to get the tape. Not only was he not allowed to get the tape, he wasn't allowed to take notes, take pictures, or anything else about it. However, he was allowed to view it. And in his words, he called the allegations nonsense. He saw the tape, but Irvin, he still hasn't seen the tapes. So he doesn't really know what he's up against. Now, I'm sure that his lawyer had to tell him something about the tape, but the man wants to see for himself what he was supposed to have done. So that leads us to Marriott. Why are you not turning over the tapes? You were court ordered to turn over those tapes. Are you saying that you are above the law now, that you don't have to do what the judges tell you to do? So Irvin's attorneys have filed an emergency request to have that tape turned over. They won the case, they won the right to get the tape, right? So what's Marriott hiding? But I'll give you some interesting insight here. I had a commenter tell me that regardless of what's on the tape, Irvin, because he's been accused, the burden of proof lies with him. So he's basically saying that Marriott, they don't have to prove anything. Well, if you got the tapes and the judge told you to turn those tapes over, how can you tell me that Marriott doesn't have to prove anything? Meanwhile, Irvin, he's devastated. He was pretty much driven to tears in an emotional outburst yesterday, saying that he doesn't know what he's being faced with. And it's pretty much driving him crazy, and I can understand what he's saying. But if you go back to the groundbreaking series The Sopranos, the character Paulie, he was facing some cancer that he may or may not have, and he didn't know what it was or what it could be. So he tells Tony Soprano that I'd rather face 10,000 guys with shivs than to fight something that he doesn't know what it was. And that's the same thing that Irvin is facing. So up next, we're going to find out what Marriott is going to do after this court order, emergency court order has been issued. Not emergency court order, but the file to get the court to make Marriott turn those tapes over. And that's what the case is going to turn from this point. But it's a tough situation to be in, and I understand exactly where Irvin is coming from. You know, if I did something, show me I did something. If I'm wrong, like he said, then I have to face the consequences. But for you to accuse me of doing something and then don't want to show up the proof, then that seems like an open and shut case that just throw this thing out of court, man. Sports for real.